Greetings, everyone. I pray it's a good day. All glory to the King of Kings, the Most High, Xiabir, Masagan, that Jah be praised. Rastafari, Haile Selassie first. Give thanks and praise. Yes, it's a good day. Give thanks and praise for the Saturday, for the Sabbath. We give thanks and praise for this hour of meditation and the blessings of nature, all the glory, all the blessings surrounding I and I. It's for the earth, it's the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. So we give thanks, keeping it cool, reporting from Sirius the Witness's spaceship. So here in Albuquerque, and we'll be making some more podcasts as we go along. So I just wanted to share some meditations, especially about this time, which Jah only knows. So there's a certain meditation about the Christ consciousness, and explaining and showing that even through the scriptures, so ones can see that this consciousness is an evolution, and why His Majesty is, the root of David, and the offspring, how you can see the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, how you can see that which came before, a root that brought forth. So He's both the branch and the root. Now, how is this? Now, wisdom, you understand that is the beginning and the end. But furthermore, also the greater David element, the greater Solomon element, and also the nature of the relationship, therefore, to how Christ was also that. The irony is that the anointing in which so many were looking for in that time can clearly be seen in His Majesty. As they were looking for a king to have that Christ consciousness, for they had seen it in a king, and they expected it to come again in a king. And the irony of that is, again, to see the blessings of, the humble and the meek, that there's a certain element in which the rich have a power over the earth for a long time, and therefore the law needed to be brought from the shepherd. It's kind of like when the farmer tells you some wisdom, you know what I mean? Like, now you're going to get some earth wisdom. You're not just getting some barbershop wisdom. You know what I mean? There's difference between street-wise and earth-wise. Rastafari. So we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 24. And it starts right away. Do not envy evil men. Do not desire to be with them. The very nature of not envying the evil. And you'll see that there is going to be this level of looking at, don't be like them, don't want what they want. But we're going to get in it. Do not envy evil men, for desire to be with them, for their heart plots to ravage, and their lips talk of trouble. By wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. And by knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Mighty is the wise in strength, and a man of knowledge strengthens power. For by wise guidance you wage your own battle. I'm sure some of you know what that is. By wise guidance to wage your own battle. That the power of knowledge the man of knowledge strengthens power. So a man of knowledge strengthening power means that he gives power its power. It strengthens it. It's like if somebody knows Haile, Selassie first. Haile means power. So if you know Haile and you have knowledge of His Majesty, you give him power because you are enlightening through knowledge other people. If you don't have knowledge of the king, you look embarrassing if you're yelling Rastafari or you're spewing lies, which, is just constant. The stuff that people make up. But anyway, I'm not going to focus on them. Focus on the word. Wise instruction, wise guidance. For by wise guidance you wage your own battle. And delivery is by a great counselor. Wisdom is high for a fool, and he does not open his mouth in the gate. He who plots to do evil is called a master of evil plots. The purpose of folly is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to men. If you falter in the day of distress, your strength is small. Deliver those taken to death, and hold back those stumbling to kill. If you say, see, we did not know this, who would not? He who weighs the hearts discern it. He watches over your life. Would he not know it? And shall he not repay man according to his work? So this is an interesting verse here. If you say, see, we did not know this, would not he who weighs the heart discern it? They're asking, if I did not know the ways of my folly, will I be judged? And for does not God know my heart, and that I did not know? This is an important thing, because, you know, the sin of those who know and continue versus the sin of those who don't know is a whole other realm, because ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is actually problems. It's burden. So there's a certain level of understanding that they have a hard enough time because no one ever taught them. And that's why, you know, wise guidance, you know, is important, because the delivery is by a great counselor, that we need a shepherd. And Jah has never left us alone so that we don't have guidance. But yet there's those who are, you know, without the fullness. And that's why the word has to keep growing and we have to keep sharing it. But you're also now watching a certain amount of understanding that I'm here to try and deliver you past death. That you're seeing a Christ consciousness coming forth, where where Solomon speaks that deliver those taken to death and hold back those stumbling to the kill. So those who are both been murdered and the murderers, the understanding of, you know, pray for the soul so that it can be restored again, it can be resurrected, that we can conquer death, that Jah can bring those who have already died delivery, and those who are delivered to be killers. My son, eat honey, for it is good, and the honeycomb sweet to your taste. Know that wisdom is thus to your being. If you have found it, there is a future, and your expectancy is not cut off. Make wisdom like honey. Make it so sweet that you yearn for it all the time. And if you realize that is your being, know that wisdom is thus your being, that if you have found it, there is a future, and your expectancy is not cut off. Do not lie in wait, O wrong one, against the dwelling of the righteous. Do not ravage his resting place. For 7 times a righteous man falls and rises, but the wrong one stumbles into evil. 7 times the righteous man falls and rises. Once again, now you see the holy 7 being shown. And then in the number of 7, you can see the Christ consciousness as rise and falls. That the very nature of seeing the 7 over and over is a reoccurring theme. But more so, again, rise, or falls and rises. Not rises and falls. Falls and rises.
Jit, come in here now. Jit, here now.
Right.